Thank you very much, Premier. Welcome to the State Control Centre here, which remains at Tier 3, which is the highest level we have for the State Control Centre, as we continue to respond to this emergency. Yesterday we did see extremely challenging conditions for all emergency service workers and volunteers, and also, of course, the community. Hot, windy and dry conditions, together with dry lightning strikes right across the state, caused a lot of work, resulted in a lot of work for our agencies, with many fires started from those lightning strikes. Almost all fires were started from the lightning strikes that we're aware of. We had multiple fires across the state, but most particularly up in the Wimmera there, with a few major fires. The Mount Stapleton fire was quite significant and impacted the Dadswell Bridge area. Thankfully, no properties were lost in that area that we know of at this stage. And of course, the Belfield fire from the Grampians that impacted on the Pomonal township. Quite significant impact there. The fire moved at a fast rate of speed and spotted forward, which then resulted in a number of residential homes being burnt. Impact assessments are still underway to ascertain exactly how many homes were lost in that fire. And then, of course, we had the storms that moved in right across the state, with damaging and destructive winds between 120 kilometres an hour and up to 157 kilometres an hour in various parts of the state, which caused an enormous amount of damage, with trees down right across the state, but more particularly in the east, south-east and the further east of the state. SES has had thousands of requests for assistance and have been actively working through those. And sadly, as the Premier touched on, a 50-year-old male died as a result of the storm in Mirboo North. Our thoughts are with his family and loved ones and friends at the moment. The responding agents did an outstanding job, all agencies that is, and that's what we do well in this state. It's a whole of agencies approach to all hazards, where we all come together. And you'll see my colleagues off to my left here from the State Emergency Service, Tim Weebush, Jason Heffernan from the Country Fire Authority, and others that Chris Hardman from Forest Fire Management Victoria, all do an outstanding job in leading their agencies. A special thanks to the workers on the ground, those putting themselves in danger to protect the community. They are very dedicated, well-trained and professional people who do an outstanding job for this state. At the moment, we continue to respond. There are still threats out there, whilst the fire threat has reduced, and for the most part the storm has moved across the state. There is a lot of work to be undertaken now to ensure that we both identify isolated communities, identify people at need, identify those that need support, whether it's in relief centres or in other ways. So we'll work with all agencies as we continue to do that. Our focus continues to be on protecting life and property. Those fire areas still are risks of trees falling and branches falling, so there are impact assessments underway to understand the extent of the damage that's occurred and also ensure that it is safe for people to return to their homes. Getting access to critical infrastructure is also a significant priority as we move forward, in ensuring that roads that are opened, energy is returned to properties, power, communications and those types of services are restored. So we are working extremely close with all departments and all agencies as we continue to respond to this emergency that we've seen across the state. So thank you again to all those volunteers and paid workers for their efforts, and also our thoughts are with our community people that have been impacted by these events.